Your boy OpZ here. My boy, we out on the road. We just got to listen to the one thing. Oh man, Susie Batiste is the lady's name. And she was talking about, this is one of the founders of the Poopery. I heard about the lady before, but this right here, just listening to her, man, and her journey, she said some wonderful things. The inside journey. She said, one of the things she said that kind of really stuck out. Well, so you know what this is, I'm recapping the one thing. This is One Thing Tuesdays. Every Tuesday, I recap the one thing on what I got out of it and how I'm applying to my life. So, One Thing Tuesdays. So, she said one thing about her, because she got a company. Said, how I feel to run that company? She said, well, hey, look, this is how I look at it. You know, I wasn't really kind of running the company, you know, per se, of just running it. But I was off in the jungle somewhere, meditating, trying to get in touch with her inner self. She said, my full-time job is working on myself. And I just happened to work at Poopery. See that? See how she did that? A full-time job is working on herself. And she just happened to work at Poopery. She said that Poopery was the byproduct of her inside game. That she would go inside and harvest what is inside, and it manifested on the outside as a form of this company, these ideas, money. I always tell my daughter, you know, we got a little thing that we can say, you know, we just started this other night, you know, where she said something, good idea, something like that. And she always find this resonance that money is the byproduct of what's inside, of what you're doing. I always say, hey, if I keep eating, what's gonna come out? Poop is gonna come out. But I won't put a heavy weight on my poop that's coming out. You know, unless you're not pooping is not your goal. Because you know, you just focus on the domino. The domino, if I'm eating the right things, then the poop is gonna come out. So I don't look at the poop and say, hey, poop, why you not coming out, and go down there and messing around with all this stuff. I go all the way back to the source, to the other end. Woo! Go to the other end and see what's coming in. Man, it's just logical. If you're not getting out what you want, then you need to look at what you're putting in. And once you find out that you're not putting in the right thing, you gotta ask yourself why you're not putting in the right thing. Is it because a lack of a scarcity mentality instead of an abundance mentality? Because sometimes you say, hey, look, I know I need to put this in, but I can't afford that. That's expensive. You know, how am I going to, you know, instead of asking, how can I afford it? You say, I can't afford that. I'm using some cheap stuff. You know what I'm saying? Well, I just like the way this tastes better. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, back to the one thing. She was talking about how she had hit rock bottom. I noticed that with a lot of folk. Come on, my man. She had hit rock bottom. Yeah, I noticed that. You didn't even have your signal light on, my man. What's going on? She said she had hit rock bottom, you know, almost to the point of taking her own life. You know, that's rock bottom. So she said, hey, this time around, I'm going to make sure I have some fun. It's got to be about fun. I ain't putting all that extra pressure on me. It's going to be about fun. If it's going to go down, I'm going to go down having fun. That's what I'm going to do. Then she talked about sensing this energy. You know, if you're doing something that's not energetic, then delegate it. Bow. Yeah, that's what boy was saying. That's what boy was saying. Delegate that thing. That's one thing I'm working on. Delegate. You know what I'm saying? Then she said about crystal clear clarity of the team. Once the clarity is clear, then the team can rally behind the clarity. But when it's not clear, then it's hard for them to rally behind. It's hard to hold them accountable if you don't have clarity in yourself. And people know when you got clarity. Oh, then she talked about resonance. That when you're around people that you resonate with, it adds to, it multiplies. Because y'all resonating together. Well, 1 + 1 ain't 2. Well, boy, Stephen Covey called that synergy. Then if you're around people that you're not resonating to, man, then you gotta get off around them. You may have to change jobs. They may have to change jobs. But what that brought up in my mind, it's my wife and my daughter. I did it with my wife, but I hadn't done it with my daughter yet. Because my daughter should get in there and get the cooking and leave her mess all over the place, right? My wife do the same. Now, I accepted that with my wife, but for some reason, I had accepted that with my daughter. So I'm about to make a deal with her, right? You know, if we're a team, then we know that person, but we'll sit there and stew in them juices, right? All that tension. I said, I'm going to relieve that tension. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to relieve that tension. It's either relieve that tension by just go ahead and making a deal. I take care of that. You take care of this. Because there's some things that she likes and people like to do better than you. Some things they don't like to do better. You know, that's the name of the game. So you just got to find that fit, that dovetail, then put it all together is what you got to do. So that's where it's at. So then she talked about, you know, how she came up with the idea. You know, you can't let everybody know about your idea. Don't tell everybody, because everybody gonna think your idea ain't a good idea anyway. So now you gonna go. What you gonna do? I'm gonna get back up. Think your idea ain't a good idea anyway. You know they not gonna always agree with you because they not resonating with you. Your idea that came to you resonates with you, not with them. Oh, but after everything's said and done, it's oh man, hey, you was right. It worked out. See, they don't have the eyes to see it. You know, different vibration. You know, it's out of phase. In Star Trek term, they say it's out of phase. It's still there, but it's not. It's just a tweak out of phase where you can't see it. It's like one of these little signs. I seen one of these little signs they got that always on a little card, got the little grooves in it, and then you tilt it one way, you can see one picture, tilt it another way. It's like a little toy. You can see another picture. So that was the thing that that life is like. It is so many of those little things, just a little tweak. We're talking not a huge tweak, but just a little tweak. It's just little. I mean, it's billions of them. You know what I'm saying? It's billions of them. Maybe trillions, maybe hundreds of trillions, maybe trillions and trillions. Just a little tweak, and then you see something totally different. A little tweak, and then it just changes. They talk about the multiverse. It's already here. It's all there. It's all there already. It's just a tweak, and you can see it totally different. The perspective is what changes. But anyway, you know, just talking about the company, the singleness and purpose, the one thing, and then now she said get into the creative side, you know, of the company and teamwork. You know, it was just, I think it was real good. You know, she said she wrote a book. She got a little program out. I think I'm gonna check her program out and see which book that she wrote on how to work on that inside game. And it was a book that turned her life around. I got to get that book. That book was in there. This episode and the last episode got 2 books in there that I want to check out. So I'm going to add to my arsenal, to my repertoire. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm also going to share this with my kids. And my sister just sent me something too, where this guy was dissecting the Matrix and all the symbolism and stuff up in there. I had heard some stuff like that before, but it was more to the negative side of the Wachowski brothers that. But this is supposed to be going towards the positive side. So I may listen to that on my way back from where I'm going right now. Got to do a little talk right here. And then I'm gonna be on the way back, and I'm gonna listen to that on the way back and see how that sound. You know what I'm saying? You just get back into that groove, back into that flow. I pulled my 411 out yesterday. Your boy went for that 20% yesterday to go ahead and start the month. Man, that's what he said in the last episode. He said, man, I like to front load the week. He said you front load everything by hammering out that first 20%. So the first 20% of the week, I'm gonna do 80% of the work. First 20% of the month, I'm gonna do 80% of the work. Say that's how you front load that thing. First 20% of the year, you can hammer out the first 3 or 4 months, 2 or 3 months. This was 20%. 25% is 4 months. You can hammer out that first 4 months and make 80%. The rest gonna fall into place, baby. That's what I'm talking about. If you can smash that first 4 months out of the year, you're gonna have a fabulous year. The rest is like gravy. That can only come with planning. Identifying that 20% that's gonna produce that 80%. You gotta take the time. That's what she did. She took the time to identify. And that's where the symbiote comes in. You try to steal that time from you. That's what he try and do. You see what I'm saying? But anyway, that's it. Your boy pulling up to the place. You know what I'm finna do? Do this talk and then do it to my life. I don't need you to do what you gotta do. And that's do it to that like, do it to that thumbs up, do it to that share, and do it to your life. Do it to it.